So this is our African or Cape buffalo. It's never been able to be domesticated. It always has a wild streak in it, and for that reason it makes it onto the Big Five list. Good morning everyone, welcome to Shamwari TV. Join me this morning as I'm out and about. Hopefully we find something interesting and hopefully there's lots to learn about. Have a look up ahead guys, there's a nice little herd of buffalo. So this is our African or Cape buffalo. There are a number of different buffalo species worldwide. There's forest buffalo, there's water buffalo, but this is the Cape buffalo. It's never been able to be domesticated. It always has a wild streak in it, and for that reason it makes it onto the Big Five list. When males spar with one another, there's the horning and the pushing and that type of stuff. You'll get the pseudo mating taking place, where the loser will get mounted as just like a sign of dominance by the victor male. And this is a relatively small little breeding herd. It's probably about 15 animals here. So within a breeding herd of buffalo, you have your females and calves, and they obviously form a relatively tight unit and bond. And as a herd, they'll stay together majority of the times. And then you have a whole bunch of younger up-and-coming males, and then eventually your breeding bulls, your dominant guys. When your bulls get too old, they get kicked out of the herd and they become the solitary bulls, what we call Dagger Boys. And those Dagger Boys are quite recognizable. Obviously they look quite old and worn out, very well battered horns, but on top of that also a lot of mud wallowing. They lose a lot of their hair, so they have a greyish skin color, and then they do a lot of mud wallowing, and it's that mud wallowing that gives rise to the name of Dagger Boys. Those are the buffaloes that have given rise to the formidable nature of buffaloes. As a unit, as a herd, they're not really too dangerous on foot. They have youngsters and calves with them, so they're obviously very curious, but they spook quite easily. You can move them off, but it's the solitary bulls that when you walk into them or they bump into you or catch wind of you can be quite dangerous and quite cantankerous. Some of the weapons in a buffalo's arsenal, so to speak, are its senses. Its sense of smell is very, very good. Buffaloes have a formidable sense of smell. They obviously have a big wet nose, so that helps definitely with scent transfer. Their hearing is quite good, and their eyesight is quite keen. So all around, generally quite good senses. And obviously one of the most noticeable things about buffaloes is those horns. Particularly your old bulls have got very, very big bosses, the big thick plates on top, and I mean that's near impenetrable. When buffalo bulls are fighting with one another and they impact on the forward charges, I mean it's like two cars having an accident. 800-900 kilogram animals busy smashing into one another. So those bosses, the horns, are incredibly strong and battering ram weapons, as well as the tips of the horns can be very, very sharp and used for piercing in that. So it's a strong cantankerous animal. The boss is underneath an extension of the skull. Essentially there's a massive bone plate, and then you have the keratin sheath around it on the top. Your females have a much more slender boss with normally hair quite close around to the middle or coming in on the edges, whereas the bulls have got completely naked and big round bosses, much thicker horn sets. And your males obviously use the horns for fighting amongst males, where the females would use the horns as a defense against lions. So they need horns, but not to the armory and extent that males would need the horns. And you just look at the thickness of that neck on these bulls is, you know, that nuchal hump, and that neck is just all pure muscle. It's 900 kilograms of just sheer muscle and force. There's some estimates that approximately 200 people per year get killed, trampled, or gored by buffaloes. So quite a formidable animal, particularly when you bump into them at night time. If they're lying down sleeping, it's a very dark mass, and you can be walking from one camp to the next, or one tent to the next, or whatever it may be, and you walk smack into these guys, and they don't take kindly to it. But it was great seeing these buffalo come out onto the open plain busy feeding. They're all busy moving forward as a unit, so we're going to drive past them and carry on our way. Hello everyone, my name's Andrew Kearney. I'm the Ranger Manager at Shamwari Private Game Reserve. I just want to take a moment to say thank you very much for all the support and feedback that we've been getting on our brand new channel, Shamwari TV. If you haven't followed us yet, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. Stay tuned for our next episode, and I'll see you right here at Shamwari Private Game Reserve.